This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Mancave. Here's Jason Walker.
Happy, what day is it? I think it's Wednesday today. It is the Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. If you're watching on the Facebook, our guest is already here. He's timely. He's not booked really to talk till 4:15, but
hey, I'm always here. I don't like to be late. I've never been late.
That is
Van
true.
Diest mentality.
Hey, there you go. We're going to talk about Mike Van Diest coming up with Luke Denherter. He'll join us here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Is that a conflict of? It's not a conflict of interest, is it?
What?
Major Mortgage, Exit Realty.
No,
Okay.
no, we work together. That's
right. See, okay, we're going to talk more because we can. Yeah, we'll have Luke Denherter joining us here coming up. He's a legend, and we're going to chat with him. We also have On This Day in History, and who knows what else we're going to talk about. But we're going to talk some COVID, because really that's what we do nowadays in this society. And it's sad because, by the way, you can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, and also on TreasureStateRadio.com. And like I said, you can watch on the Facebook, the Twitter, and also YouTube. All right, there we go. All right, so there's a lot of stuff going on. We've got COVID, WWE, multiple positive COVID tests announced this week, including at least one in-ring talent. That was in at least three who were at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando tested positive. So here's the thing. All this COVID stuff is happening around Orlando. We saw a women's professional soccer team this week drop out of the big World Cup, or not World Cup, but the big Pro Cup that they got, because half the team went out and got drunk in Orlando and decided that they needed the COVID. So now the other players can't play either. So the whole team got disconnected from this tournament. Then we've got this. 5 players withdraw. 1 has tested positive on the PGA Tour. Cameron Champ tested positive. He's the only player. But Brooks Koepka, Graham McDowell, Koepka's brother also pulled out of this week's tournament. Webb Simpson withdrew as well for the Travelers Championship. Now, Koepka doesn't have it, nor does Webb Simpson, nor does Graham McDowell, but their caddies do. And the caddies are touching their balls. Caddies are touching their clubs. Caddies and players are hanging out. This is a snowball effect that's going to get... We saw it with Nick Watney last week. He was the first. Now there's going to be others. But I'm overreacting, according to Twitter. Major League Baseball yesterday came up with the plan for the summer. Hey, we're going to play 60 games starting, July 23rd or 24th. And then it's immediately released that 3 Colorado Rocky players have the virus. Okay, I know they're going to be fine before we get to spring training, or summer training is what it should be called now. But what about the rest? We're not guaranteed that all of these players are going to come to camps in Florida and, well, really their home states where they play, and be fine. Look at some of the hot spots. Texas, well, they've got a couple of baseball teams. California's got 3. Arizona's like the hot spot in the country right now, both weather-wise and COVID-wise. And guess what? There's a baseball team there. But Heat kills it, remember? We don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. What else did I see? Oh, Ezekiel Elliott, who had positive coronavirus earlier this month. He's okay now. He said for a day or two he had a little cough and a shortness of breath. What was it? 9 days ago, multiple Cowboys and Texans players tested positive. Ezekiel Elliott was one of them. He doesn't know if there's going to be a football season. And this is from a guy who just got over the COVID. He says, look, I hope we have a season, but it has to be right. Meaning you've got to take care of everybody around. You can't just worry about these players. And I know I love Coach Clint Lang out at Jefferson High in Boulder. And I said something about the baseball players. And he said, look, they're not going to be hospitalized. They'll be fine in like 5 days, like Von Miller, Zeke, other athletes. But not everybody is an athlete at the world-class level of an Ezekiel Elliott, a Von Miller, or Charlie Blackmon for the Colorado Rockies, or hockey players, or NBA players. And again, I go back to what I said, March 10th? It's okay to overreact, but at the same time, be concerned. This thing hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse as we've progressed throughout the course of the summer. New Jersey, New York, Connecticut just came out today with a travel ban of 9 states, including Washington, that if you travel from those states of 9 to any of those tri-state areas, then you have to quarantine for 14 days. Makes sense. I think it's a little funny, though, because New York complained, Governor Cuomo, when Governor DeSantis down in Florida put the quarantine on New York, and now he's doing the same thing to Florida. But it's okay if you're in New York. I get fired up about this because, I don't know. I've got a 2-year-old. Do I want her to get it? No. Our next guest, he can't get it. This is something that affects people more than just wearing a mask out in public or not, or me talking about golfers that have COVID. It's ridiculous. We have to be careful, folks. Still, Montana is seeing COVID cases explode. Wyoming, COVID cases explode. And it's just the beginning of tourist season. June 1st, everybody's allowed to come to the state. You don't have to quarantine. Guess what we've seen over the last 2.5, 3 weeks? An explosion in cases. There was an interesting map on Twitter today that had the contact tracing of like case 4 and 15 came from contact with case 1, but then 34 came from 14. It's weird how this works. I don't know how they do it. People a lot smarter than me. But contact tracing. You can stay 6 feet apart, but are you really staying 6 feet apart? We're seeing what's going to happen. These are individuals that we're seeing, in individual sports like golf that we're seeing. What happens when everybody on a team comes back? We've seen it already a little bit. Clemson, 23 cases. LSU's got 30 people in quarantine. Texas has a bunch. Alabama, Kansas State. They're calling that Kansas State football team is being called an outbreak of COVID. I think they have 8. What happens when all of these teams get back together for camps? And it's not just football. Basketball is going to be allowed back in July to the campuses. When you look at the sports, when you get these teams on close togetherness, things are going to happen. And let's be honest, college kids are going to be college kids. They're going to go out. They're not going to social distance. They're not going to stay away from bars. Student athletes are not. And you look at that women's soccer team. They went to a bar and half the team has COVID. So you're going to get that. And the contact sports are going to be a little bit more. Football, Wrestling. Can you imagine wrestling if this thing's still huge in the fall, in winter? I mean, football, at least you got some padding to protect you. Not much on the face masks. But hockey, wrestling, come on, people. But Jason, you're overreacting. That's what I hear. That's what I hear all the time. Am I? I don't know, but neither do you, like I said. Kansas athletics has multiple COVID. Kansas State, and people are thinking, well, this doesn't affect Montana. Well, we haven't had Montana or Montana State back on campus yet. We don't have the frontier schools back on campus yet. And then again, when people come back from August or in August from wherever to go to college, because we have to have online learning, they're not coming from, East Helena just to Carroll. No, I mean, we're getting people from across the country that go to all of our campuses in Montana. What about high school families that have been traveling? Just be prepared for no sports this season. And there's a small part of me, this is really sick to say, but there's a small part of me that wants to not have a full sports season just to prove a point that I tried to make back in March and April, is that we're way too reliant on professional and college sports to entertain us. These last couple months just hanging out with my little girl, it's been fun. I'm a better parent because I don't have crap to watch on TV. So, but maybe that's just me personally. You can weigh in anytime, Facebook, tweet, email. We're going to talk Bubba Wallace coming up a little bit later on. It's a tough subject to talk about. And, the news that came out yesterday, that it was not a noose, but then Bubba doubled down on CNN last night saying it was. Who is to blame? We'll talk about that coming up. But when we return, he is a legend. Just because he's busy all the time, he's selling houses all over the globe. He is Luke Denherter, and he joins us next on the Jason Walker Show.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one? It feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Dinner's Done Right is open and ready for you to stop in and stock up for the summer. How does a Big Sky flank steak sound? Or a sage roasted pork loin? June's menu also includes a Parmesan tilapia and a variety of fantastic chicken cuisines and more. And if that's not enough, Dinner's Done Right's Grab and Go Soup, Salad, and Nacho Bar is back as well, with one exception. The delightful staff now will make it for you. And don't forget deliveries to Bozeman and Great Falls on select days. Stop in at 1212 Cedar Street in Helena or visit dinnersdoneright.com.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back. Jason Walker Show, segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home. Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. We're going to talk Bubba Wallace a little bit later on. Hoping to have some great guests lined up Thursday, Friday. If they don't call me back, then maybe I just won't do shows. I don't know. Or I'll just vent and talk, and you can rip on me on Facebook and Twitter, because I'm okay with that. Jason Walker Show is brought to you in part by Green Meadow Country Club. Make sure you get signed up, become a member, tell them you heard it on the Jason Walker Show, and great food. Today was a Moroccan chili or something, a Moroccan soup, I think. Oh, I didn't eat it, but sounds good. Anyway, stuff like that. Not to mention the events. I know there's a big event coming up tomorrow night. They brought a band in. It's like a couple. For your entertainment pleasure, you had to make reservations, and not to mention the golf. I mean, that's really, it is a golf and country club. So get signed up. Jason Walker Show. Tell them you are friends of the show, and they'll be friends of yours there. I don't know why we're not on YouTube. We'll try to get that fixed. I'll have to make a couple phone calls because I'm not technologically sound at all. So, all right. I want to get to our guest. He is literally a legend. Not only at Capitol, but also at Carroll. And the other day, he ran a marathon. Ran the Gov Cup. Didn't have to because it was canceled. Still wanted to. But it's just amazing. The dude is awesome. His name is Luke Dennerherder, and he joins us now here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, actually. Doing good. Still healing, but it's doing good.
All right. Take me through the training for this thing. Because how do you train for a marathon when you don't normally run? I mean,
no.
Heather Lieberg can go train for a marathon because that's what she does in her life. I mean, she's awesome. You're not Heather Lieberg.
I am not what you call built for running. I am not for distance. I can do short sprints and everything like that. It was different. I went in, Matt Roberts, one of my buddies growing up, does marathons too. And so he kind of said, what are you thinking? And I said, here's what I'm looking at. Governor's Cup. It's kind of one of those things. It'll be 11 months out from my transplant, my cancer transplant. And so I said, here's my big goal. Here's my goal. I always have had a big goal when I get done with things. And this was it. And so he goes, well, with your body type, we're going to do something different. We're going to do a minute on, minute off, minute on, minute off. So you have your body to recover. You need the oxygen to recover to your muscles. And so that's what I trained for 6 months. And the COVID threw a little wrench into it. So it's not the time I really wanted to do, but, I got it done. It was something I've done, and I don't think I'll probably ever do it again.
But it only took you a little over, 5.5 hours?
Yeah,
just
5.5 hours. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I couldn't even imagine how I would run, because I'm not built for running either. If you don't, you're tall. I'm not, but I'm not a runner. Luke Denherter joining us, Major Mortgage Man Cave. So you completed it, 26.3 miles.
Yep.
You got all through it.
Yep.
That's nuts.
It was rough, but it was kind of funny. We got going right around 6:20. I wanted to get going at 6. We got going around 6:20 and ran in and got into downtown area and stuff like that. And we finished up. And then all of a sudden, that was when I went and took a nap. I woke up and I look outside and you can't see the Mount Helena because it's on fire behind there.
Oh,
the big fire hit, the 40, 50 mile an hour winds. I mean, it was like one of those situations. I'm like sitting there going, that morning, it was perfect.
Yep.
No wind, sun was out, it was beautiful. I wake up from like a half-hour nap, and I'm like, what is going on out here?
Half-hour nap after running 26 miles?
It was okay, maybe 45 minutes, but it was one of those...
Dude, I wouldn't have woken up till the next day. Luke Denherter, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. So when you got through it, and you mentioned after all your treatments, you've come up with something big.
Yep.
Was this the biggest?
You know, it was not. I would say coming back and playing football for Carroll was probably my biggest one. You know, seeing when I dropped 70 pounds and I was really at the brink of it that first time, I think that was the biggest goal, was when I came back and got to play football again. So it took a year. That took a full year and a half for me to get back. But that was my biggest one. This one was more of a mental thing. To know, hey, you know, I pushed myself mentally through a lot of things in my life, but I wanted to see if I could physically push through some things and just to get myself back into shape. And because when I was over in Seattle doing my treatment, my center was about a half mile from us, and we had to go up and around and then come back down. So it was about a half mile up and around.
Okay.
And about halfway through it, I couldn't do it. It would be such a push to get up the hill and such a daunting thing that we had to ride the bus that was there to get us there. And so it was one of those things I sat back in my mind and said, when I get done with this, I want to prove that my body can do something that it hasn't done before. And so that's why I really wanted to do this marathon, and just to try to prove to myself, because it was about 2-3 days before I did the marathon. I go, I'm only thinking I'm going to be able to get a half marathon in. My body's not feeling good because of COVID. We didn't get as much training in. I mean, because the gyms are closed and it's cold. Weird, it's Montana.
Right.
And so with those two things, I really didn't get as much training as I wanted to. And so I was like, I don't know if I can do the full. And then I got about 10 miles in. I'm like, what's another 16 miles?
Yeah, why not? Let's just go for it. I think it's great. And you and I talked, I think back in January, February, but you didn't just run this for you. You ran this for others. And I think that's the great story.
Yeah. The one thing back when I got back in from all my top treatment from last year, I really wanted to hone in on my, I had somewhat of a foundation set up, but not really truly. And so what I did is then I put in a request and I got it through. And now I have Queen City Cancer Foundation registered. And so I kind of did it for that. And then also I wanted to, in remembrance, and also for people that are currently going through cancer, to say that, hey, cancer's not the end. Mm-hmm. It's not the end, that you can push through and get back to what you were doing before. Here is a person that's seen it 3 times and rebounded 3 times.
Wow. Which is absolutely amazing and awesome. But right about the time you and I were talking, we had a couple of local cases.
Yep.
At the high school level, and then, you know, your buddy, Jeff Shirley, comes down with leukemia and has to undergo the same treatment. So this, you know, it affects everybody in one way or another. But it seems like this year there was more that we heard of.
I think it's just more prevalent there's just more with the social media, with everything like that. There's more connections. I think we've always had something going on, but there isn't as big of notice, a big of push as there has been. And the one thing is, I've just seen this community give and give and give and give and give, and it's probably one of the reasons why I'll never leave. It's because this community is absolutely amazing what they do and what they do to help out people that go through stuff.
Luke Denherter joining us in the Major Mortgage Man Cave here on the Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, as all of our guests appear courtesy of. Did you play with Mike?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
He was.
You were after.
Yep.
Okay. He's still.
Oh yeah, I know him. I know him
he's
really
still
well.
a character.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
He's was okay. So I have so many great questions. We're going to talk a lot of football later on, but the marathon deal still. So were you able to raise money even without the Gov Cup?
I didn't push it as much as I wanted to on that part. It was more of because of the way that with the Governor's Cup canceled, I didn't want to create something, especially with this COVID stuff going on, to create something that would be a negative to this. And it was more of just, hey, prove myself, but then also just to, like I said, kind of get it out there as much as I could. But it was more of trying to make sure at the end of the day, I didn't want to create negative publicity out of it. So,
well, I don't think anything you do would have been negative.
I know, but hey, it's tough nowadays. So I always try to ride that as best as I can.
It is. You heard the opening segment. You sat here and I talked about all the COVID cases and people having to be careful. You're high risk.
Yep.
I mean, this is not something that is, something to joke around about with the COVID. It's okay to overreact. It's okay to be concerned, but you legit are high risk. And you have to take extra precautions. You can't even go into the office hardly.
No, I very rarely go into the office. But I mean, it's one of those situations I understand where I'm at, and I make sure at the end of the day, if I need to, I've got some really good help at my office, which has been really nice. But yeah, I mean, when I go show houses, when I do all the things that I do, I'm usually wearing a mask because the thing is, I don't know who's been in that house.
Yep.
I don't know where people have been. Outside stuff, I still don't really wear a mask very much. But when I go to grocery stores, when I do all that type of stuff, I mean, because it's funny because I do get my numbers once a month, and my immune system has not recovered one bit. It's still so low with white blood cell count that it's one of those situations. I work out and do what I do to make sure that I don't get sick.
That's crazy. Luke Denherter joining us on the Jason Walker Show. Have you been in contact with Jeff? Talked to Shirley a little bit?
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit right when he first got going. It was one of those things. He was asking me questions because I went through a transplant and everything like that. I say, hey, what was kind of the process that you went through? What's going on with this? And we went step by step. And then I was a lot of social media stuff with them, checking in, seeing how things are going and stuff like that. It was great, and then when it was awesome to see when he got back the line of cars and everything like that, they're just supporting him. It shows you not alone that Helena is, but the Carroll is there.
Yep.
That Carroll aspect's there. So,
by the way, the Ross family say hi. Wes and Callie.
Oh yes.
I met Grandma Lawrence yesterday at the blood drive here.
Yep.
Troy is an inspiration, much like yourself.
Yes,
I mean, this is a kid that is a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You got it after high school
Yep.
the first time, and as an adult, it's obviously still scarier than heck. But I can't even imagine what Troy and the family have gone through over the last 3 years.
Yeah, they've gone through a lot, but just every time I see Troy, he's just got that big old grin on his face. He's got the big old smile, and the thing is that when he does his stance where he just sits there and goes like this, it's awesome. It's one of those situations, and it's an inspirational, to see someone so young go through so much and yet still have that positive attitude.
Yeah.
It's wish I'd had more of that in this world.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty awesome. Luke Denherter joining us here, Jason Walker Show. So Queen City, Cancer.
Queen City Cancer Foundation.
Foundation.org.
It is .org, I think is what I got to ask. I got to verify that.
But we'll say that.
Yeah.
Just Google Queen City Cancer Foundation, and then you'll end up with that. How can people help out?
It's basically right there. I have a donation on most of the go all through Facebook, and what it is for cancer families that go through stuff. When you get the surprise of your life, and you're sitting there going, okay, we're going to get through this. But it's always nice to have that financial backing behind you. Mm-hmm. And what I do is I do it twofold. So I have donations that go there, but then also every house that I sell, I give 10% of my commission directly to that. And so I've helped a lot of families in the last 5 years with this type of financial help, because it was just something that this community gave me so much every single time I went through it, that it's kind of the way I can pay it forward, is by helping out other families that go through this with financial problems and stuff like that, just so that they can concentrate on what they need to concentrate on, is getting through it.
That's awesome and amazing. Queen City Cancer Foundation. Google it. We'll find out if it's the .org during the commercial break. I can tell you, JasonWalkerShow.com is where you can watch this in its entirety if you miss anything. Luke Denherter joining us here, Major Mortgage Man Cave, Jason Walker Show. So what hurts more after the marathon? Is it the legs? Is it the lungs? I mean, what are we talking here?
Oh, legs.
Legs for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, it reminded me when I got done playing a big old football game.
Okay.
And where I had 4 or 5 cramps in just the most weird spots because your body's not used to just the constant pounding, and you're sitting there going, I just need I drove out to Jefferson City, and then my parents picked me up when I got back down, and I said, just drop me off at home. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I just need to get home. I need to get some refuel. I mean, I need some stuff to help my body out because it's so bad right now. I mean, because when I was playing, I think the worst time I had was when I had 4 cramps, 2 quads and 2 hamstrings at the same time. I was sitting at dinner. We were sitting at, I think La Costadores or one of those, and we were sitting there, and all 4 of them cramped up right when we got done. I couldn't stand up out of my chair. And it was one of those situations I'm sitting there going, well, I'm going to have to waddle to my car.
Oh, my gosh.
So I sat there for another 5 minutes, and then I was like, I had to waddle out, and then I had to waddle into Vans.
Oh, man.
And I'm like sitting there going, don't worry about me. I'm good.
I'm here for pickle juice? Is that what you...
I just need anything, so it was the same kind of feeling. So I was like, I knew that was coming on, so I'm like, just get me home.
Oh, man. I've had, cramps are nothing to mess with. But at least you don't have shin splints, so that's good.
I know. That was a big plus.
Yeah.
That was big. I changed out my shoes a lot just because I was sitting there going, I knew that the compression and everything like that, just beating up your body. I had 4 different pairs of shoes that I used just to try to help out my training. And then when I finally got to it, I just did one, but it was one of those things. Yeah. I was like, I am actually going to be smart about this so I don't hurt myself.
That's, yeah, exactly. I did see some pictures. You looked like a professional marathoner, though.
Oh, I mean, I try. I try, but it's all for look. It's all for show.
Well, there you
go. It's
go.
really not what's going on. It's all for show.
I thought it was absolutely awesome. Queen City Cancer Foundation. Check it out on the Google. Okay, so what's worse, a marathon or the Saints 900?
Marathon. See, the Saints 900, I think because when your freshman and sophomore year, you don't really know how to train for it. The older you get, you're like, I actually have to train for this because I hate it. And then all of a sudden you're like, my senior year, it was actually probably one of the easiest ones. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, well, I got it done. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, and I think Van Diest would be easier on us as we got older too.
Maybe some. But yeah, you get because I always saw, was it Hoagie that always had the big troughs full of the water. And there's a lot of puking going on, especially the young kids.
Oh, yeah.
But I did see a few years ago a senior puke 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
On the same 900.
There's some people that just, no matter what, I've seen these people that, especially playing with all these, I've seen the most athletic people that are in shape that when they do something like that, there's just a body natural reaction. I've seen it, and it's great, especially during winter ball. Winter ball, you get to see the best of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And you're sitting there going, you see these people that are just you wouldn't think, but they would be the ones that would have some problems.
Can you stick around?
Yeah.
All right. Luke Denherter joining us here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We are going to come back because I want to talk more with Luke. I got some football questions. I've never really gotten a chance to have these conversations. He's always intimidated me, but he still does. That's why we've got 2 desks between us, and we're more than 6 feet apart, I think. But anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. We'll be right back. Jason Walker Show.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
I'm done with this.
Thinking about trying something new? The Montana Air National Guard has so many exciting career fields to choose from, many that can open up opportunities in your civilian life. The best part? You'll be getting paid to learn a new trade skill right here at home. What are you waiting for? Let's get you in school and get you paid. Contact Luke Fecto at 406-788-8962.
Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Jason Walker Show, Major Mortgage Mancave. I don't want to show that. I want to show that. I don't know what I'm doing. Can I show right pitch? There we go. Wow. Thanks for watching. JasonWalkerShow.com if you miss anything or want to rewatch any of our previous shows, including yesterday with Nick McCarville. That was a great conversation with Nick about tennis, about COVID, about Pride Month, and it was informational to me as well. So if you want to listen to it, go back and check it out, JasonWalkerShow.com. Continuing, this segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark's got fantastic artwork, and I think I can go this camera, and then I have to turn this way. No, this way. So that's our guest, Luke Denherter. He's over there. This photo was taken by Mark LaRoe out at Townsend NRA Rodeo. As they're bringing in the Bronx and stuff for the rodeo. But you can buy that from Mark. Check it out, marklaroephotography.com. You can also book a senior portrait package, a family portrait package, and if you tell him you heard it on the Jason Walker Show, he'll give you a free 8x10 canvas or matte print. And then if you buy anything like this photo, you get 20% off by mentioning the Jason Walker Show. So, watching the replay, because we're time delayed on Facebook, so my dancing skills, pretty awesome. All right.
On point.
I appreciate it. Luke Denherter was nice enough to stick with us for another segment. And now, we talk. He ran a marathon. That's great. It's old news now. But let's chat football.
Yeah.
I never got your thoughts on when Mike Van Diest retired. Mm-hmm. And I know it's been a couple of years now, but how was that for you when you heard the news?
It was shocking. it was shocking because, Mike Van Dies and Carroll College were synonymous, when I was going through there, and it's been that way for a long time. I'm glad that he went out on his terms and the way he wanted to go out, and just seeing, how legendary he is, and to be able to be part of that was amazing. And I'm glad he's enjoying a little bit more family time, going out to North Dakota and, seeing all the family out that direction and helping out over there. I'm happy for him. I think it's going to be a great balance now to be able to see his grandkids and see his kids and stuff like that. So,
how do you think Alex Fanestiel is going to do as OC?
I think he's going to be good. He was my roommate.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was my roommate.
Oh, very cool.
So I think he's going to do good. I mean, he's very brilliant. He's smart. He knows things in and out. And so what made it nice when on the offensive line, he would know exactly what was going on. So it definitely helped out for that when I was playing with him.
Sure.
I think he'll do great. We've got great talent over there, and another pipeline.
Yeah.
But I think Alex will do great. I really wish them luck this next year, or they do.
I don't think of linemen really as OCs. You know what I'm saying?
It's not the typical changeover. It's not the typical changeover. But when you go to film room with him, when I was playing there, and just seeing him break down things and seeing him understand the whole concept of things. We all at the college level, we understand the concepts of every single play. We were taught on everything like that. We were taught on the defense and what to look for and that type of stuff. But he always had a knack more than that. And it might be from Madden. No, just kidding.
How much Madden did you guys play?
But it was one of those situations that just seeing him understand it more than just the X's and O's. So I see him doing very well and being very successful at anything he does, and I'm grateful to see, and it's going to be awesome to see how he does with the OC.
And he's got a new baby, so congratulations on that. Yeah, he's I didn't picture Fanny as a daddy the last few years knowing him, but he's done a great job.
He's done amazing. Every time I see him, it's all about his girls.
Yep.
It's always about the family and stuff like that, and it's great.
Yes.
He's a great family man, great dad, and everything like that.
All right, so be honest. When you're sitting there in your dorm room together, your roommate together, 15 years ago, did you picture Alex Fanestiel as a father?
Not like that. No. But you know what?
Everybody grows up.
Yeah, but now looking at it, it's like, yeah, it made sense. It makes sense. Sure. He's doing a good job with it.
Yeah. Luke Denherter joining us here, Jason Walker Show. Swapping some stories now. So, all right. Favorite quarterback?
Oh, that's got to be Joe Montana.
Favorite quarterback you played with?
Oh, favorite quarterback I played with? I like Gary Wagner because he has the tenacity and, he's got that swagger to him. It was always tough, between him and John Bond.
Yep.
But it's one of those things, he was one that when I finished up, he was there. And it's just that swagger he had about him, Gary Wagner.
He still has it on the golf course,
too. Oh, he has it no matter what he does. He's always going to have that swag. No matter what he does, he's always got that swag.
Who's more cocky, Gary or Billy?
Gary.
Okay.
I say Gary. See, Billy's that, the background guy, but he is an amazing guy.
Yes.
So,
no, it's a great family.
Yes, it is.
Danny is fantastic.
Yes.
Can't wait for her senior year.
I know.
Luke Denherter joining us here on the Jason Walker Show. All right. Coldest game you played in?
Well, the coldest, not necessarily the coldest practices or the coldest game?
No, coldest game. I know practices. Yeah. That's just nonstop.
When playing, it didn't really bother me, but I just remember being done with the national championship when we lost it down there. And we went into the showers, and the showers were cold. Ooh. We had no hot water in Rome our first time there. And let me put it that way. So it rained about 1 or 2 inches during the game. Mm-hmm. And then we went to the showers, and it was cold.
Oh.
And so it was like, let's just pour it a little bit more, poison onto it. And it was definitely one of those situations. So I guess in that essence, it was cold, but then it was just doubled down because there's a national championship loss, too. So
was it 06 then?
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay.
Yep.
Did you sign this picture? The 07?
I got that one. Yep.
Coach Van Diest donated that to the Mancave here.
Okay.
Because I have just the it's an autograph from Brandon Day, but just the Sports Illustrated. But yeah, that one was here. Let me grab it because it's pretty cool. I got to get hung up. That's what I need to do. I need to have an interior decorator.
Not me.
So this one, yeah, we're going to hang this one up. Coach Van Diest gifted this one to us. Okay, so where's your signature? Do you know?
Let's see.
Here, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, let's see what we got. we signed probably a few that day.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Let's see, where is this one? This one. Right here.
Okay. Oh.
That was a tight end back then.
Ah, all right. I like it.
I was skinnier and faster, and then I got fatter and slower. I mean,
we
got
all
more
do.
athletic.
Yes, there you go. Oh, man, that is awesome. Yeah, I've got to get that one hung up. All right. What do you remember most, the big wins or tough losses?
I remember the tough losses because I remember exactly what happened. I remember exactly each play, especially when it came down to the very end. You sit there and go, where the hand placement on this, or how the play it developed, and sitting there going, and then you thought about exactly what we could have changed, and so that kind of. But then also, I would say that I remember those more, which I guess I shouldn't. I should probably remember the good wins, and so. But of course, winning the national championships and stuff like that was always, just the glorious thing. And I think the best memory that I had of that was when we were in Tennessee the night before the championship game. Coach Van Diest talked about every single player, and we sat in the most quiet room, and he just went through every player and just said, "This is what I see, and this is what I love about you." And it was the most emotional connection that I've ever had with a coach.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. That's kind of a very cool. Rory Glucker just joined in watching. Thank you for saying hi. Senior night or senior banquet is always, it seems like it takes like 5 hours because Coach Van Diest would talk about every single senior, much like you just explained in championship game form.
Yep.
And it's an emotional night.
It was a very emotional night, and it brings everybody together. It brings into more than, it's not just a football game. Yeah. It's a family. And I think that was one thing that he's always preached. It was, there's ups and downs, but the thing is, the family always sticks together.
Hey, I got to ask you this. You mentioned the hand placement. And when I did Carroll games with Tim Norbeck a few years ago, he was an O-lineman, and he talked a lot about the feet. He would watch the feet during games and say, look, this is why this is happening, because they're either too close, too far, or whatever. But Coach Hogan also talked about, too, your hand placement, and you can give up a sack just by where your hand's placed.
It's all about, I think hands and feet are the big thing, and that's why when, especially a lot of the big coaches, when they go watch offensive and defensive line, is they watch at their hands and feet. Because the thing is, those two things will get you anywhere. And the thing is, you have good hands and feet, that's why a lot of them start doing ballet.
Well, yeah.
And it's because it's definitely the feet. But the hand placement is huge because the thing is, especially in offensive line, we never hold, right?
Right. No.
We never hold.
Never.
And so just understanding where your hands are, it all of a sudden can change it from you just cost your team 10 yards or you just got 4 to 5 yards running.
Sure.
And just those little things like that. It was just always, and so when I coach freshman football at Capital, it's the same thing. It's just, you talk about hands, you talk about feet, you talk about these little things that develop into good things later on. So
that's a great way to put it. Let's see. All right, worst loss. Was it a championship?
No, it was my senior year. Their senior year when we lost in the semifinals or quarterfinals. God, I'm blanking. Sorry, I don't have a really good memory.
It's okay.
When we lost at home, it was one of those things. We rushed for 350 yards that game.
Wow.
And it was one of those things we lost. And that I can remember exactly. Like a second, I remember the hands placement. I remember going through that drives. I remember everything about that game.
Jeez. Luke Denherter joining us. A few more questions for you because this is just cool. All right, so you weren't a center. I remember I got to ask Alex Castens this when he finally, after his last game, which would have been the SOU game in the playoffs in 2014, which was not good. But I got to ask him about quarterbacks and who had the warmest hands.
I never got that. I never played center, so I never had it. I never had to feel that different.
Were you a smack talker?
Not necessarily as much but I would do it here and there. You know, I did it within reason because I knew that especially how many umpires and referees around the offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do too much.
Sure.
But, practices, we'd have a lot of fun.
All right. Did you fight ever in practice?
We had a couple fun entanglements with the defensive line.
All right. Why do you guys keep your helmets on?
What? I mean, the whole game, or you talk about?
No, when you're in a fight, these guys they're swinging at helmets. They're not. I understand keeping it on. The question I should have asked is why are you throwing punches at a helmet?
Well, you don't necessarily throw punches. You just grab the face mask and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, but that's smart. But we've seen.
I know. I don't
that's
understand.
Like grabbing the hockey sweater. And
exactly. It's one of those situations you always laugh. You're like, how does your hand feel after that?
Sure.
Yeah, that's never a smart thing.
You graduated with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. Was Armageddon Halloween 2003? Yep. Was that?
That was me. Was
that more tough to swallow than a college game?
I think it was because the fact is the people that you grew up with. It was the same people that you grew up with. You played through all small fry and stuff like that, and they're all local people that you see every day. I think that were memories, and that frozen tundra. It was the first experience of frozen tundra, truly, and to lose that game, I can remember exactly a lot about that too. It was one of those situations when you see number 1, 2, and 3 drop in the same night, and number 4 wins the championship.
Yep.
It was crazy to Halloween night.
Yep, and I remember it vividly. I was doing TV in Great Falls, and we started seeing all these scores come in because I had been down and filmed the Capital game for a little bit, and then drove back to Great Falls. But then we start seeing the scores come in. You're like, okay, well, 3 lost, and then 2 lost. But then 1 loses. You're like, what is going on here?
Well, and then that year we went undefeated.
Yeah.
We went undefeated in the regular season, and we had 11 seniors starting on defense.
Man.
And it was just one of those situations that I remember all about it.
Tough
losses, you can't tell. Yeah, really bringing up these bad memories. I appreciate it.
Well, championships are fun to talk about. We can talk about those forever.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your inspiration growing up? On the football field.
On the football field? Realistically, my whole... I was playing baseball, and I was going to go play baseball until my junior year when Mr. Pierce came over. I was playing tight end, and he came over and goes... after 2 days, so this is like a week out before game, he goes, can we just see what you got on defense? Sure, let's see what this is. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I'm an average player. And then all of a sudden, my senior year, I had a breakout year. And then I got the offer from Carroll, and that changed the whole dynamic of things. But, I would have to say, I'm blanking right now.
Well, who's your baseball inspiration?
Oh, Ken Griffey Jr. was
Were you
huge.
a lefty?
I was not a lefty, but watching
you're Jay Buhner. That's what you got.
I got the Jay. Wait, I had hair back then. Come on, that was before.
You got to go with the goatee now, though.
I can. It's like I can't grow it here, so I might as well try to see if I can grow it here.
There you go. I was not a Junior fan.
Oh, see, watching him, and then watching Buhner, and then watching Edgar Martinez, and watching all those guys. I mean, he just. I as you can tell, I'm a Mariners fan. I don't know if you could pick up on that part.
They still
of it.
have a team. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm a Mets fan. I can't really say much.
they're a farm team for everybody else.
Yes.
I will say that it's been a rough couple of years.
Yep.
But he's watching him just play and just truly loving the game.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing what I loved about it is just watching people, and that's what I loved about what I did. I truly love the game, and I want everybody that I'm around truly. I love them how they love the game.
Yeah, no, it's he definitely was. I never disputed his talent. I just didn't like it. He wore the hat backwards. I didn't like that.
Hey, it is the generation change right there.
I know. But my grandpa always said it was a sign of disrespect. So
it is still one of the tough things because the thing is I still like to be true to the nature of the sport. But you know what? He did it with he had fun with it.
He did, yes.
And so. You can't hate a person for especially when they're a Hall of Fame person.
Right, and he never played for the Yankees, so that's good.
100% agree.
You know, Tori's a Yankees fan.
I know. There's people that, you know, they always like to talk about it too.
And by the way, those Jordan photos are hers.
Oh, I'm definitely big Chicago.
Really?
fan. Oh yeah. Oh. I've got 2 or 3 of Jordans up on my house, on my walls.
All right. So, are you a fan of the DH now in both leagues? Because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. You know, it just got to succumb to it. You know, it's surprising. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, you know, growing up, the best player in your team is your pitcher, and he was a pitcher. He was a shortstop and your best hitter.
Right. Yep.
And then you go, so where was the change? Well, it's because they don't do any BP. No. They don't do the BP like they used to. And I was talking to a couple of buddies that pitched in college, and they said, yeah, we'd shag BP and we'd pitch. Yep. He said we'd get in there and hit like 5-10 swings. And I said, man, it'd be good if you would be able to get in the swings, but they don't want to get hurt. Yep. And I can understand that. It's just like a quarterback, you know. You never want to put them in danger. And it's like a starting pitcher. You never want to put them in danger by doing something stupid. Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean, I can see it. I think it'll change the game like it already has. Sure. It's going to change the game even more, which, you know, I'm a purist, but I understand to keep the game going, we're going to have to do changes.
They're supposed to play Major League Baseball this year. If they don't, whether it's, I mean, put the money stuff aside because they've got that apparently figured out. But if COVID delays and cancels this season, is it better if it's canceled because of COVID or because of the money issues? Because how long would it have taken baseball to recover if the owners and players hadn't come together?
I think it's better that it's the COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is because, I mean, it's just one of those situations with this virus. And again, if you lose, like we say, we don't want to put anybody in danger. And then all of a sudden you're talking about quarterbacks and, you know, starting pitchers. Well, what if one of those die? Yeah. What if a pitcher or a quarterback, somebody like that's in the major sports emblem dies from this? And you sit there and go, how are you going to be able to come and talk to people and say, hey, you know, this was a smart decision? Yep. I understand. I mean, I love sports, and it's been really tough. And, you know, when you turn it on and you're like, well, I'm looking at 2008 replays for, you know, the last, 2 months, but it's tough. Yeah. But it's one of those situations in the long run, is it worth it?
Sure.
So we'll see how it goes.
Well, it'll be interesting. Hey, come in anytime. Yeah. If you're just out, driving around, because you had a house for sale over here. You sold it, I think. Yeah. Up here in the subdivision, but you can come out, just pop in, say hi anytime.
I can do that.
Luke Denherter, he's fantastic. No more marathons?
No. I don't think I'll be doing more than the 5K now.
Okay.
well, we'll see. Because one of the things is my cousin who runs marathons and does the Boston Marathon and does the New York Marathon. She was actually going to come over and support me and actually run this. So she pushed it off till next year.
Okay. Well, there won't be a New York Marathon this year either.
No, and so she pushed off the Governor's Cup to next year, and she goes, well, I think because I'm coming over, you might have to run it with me. So we'll see if she wins that battle.
I've been challenged so many times over the years to run a 5K. Mm-hmm. I would run a 5K. We'll have to figure. We'll come up with something for me to be able to run the 5K with you.
Let's do it.
Because I can drop out after the 5K. You can keep going.
No. See, you'd catch me up on my last 5K. So I'd be like from Jefferson City running back in, and then it would hit Broadway, and then you'd be like, oh, here, I'm going to join you now.
Yeah, now I can join in.
Yeah, really? Now you're going to join me?
Luke Denherter, everybody, man, what a pleasure it is. And like I said, seriously, stop in anytime, and we'll have some more fun.
That sounds good. Hey, thanks for the invite.
That is Luke Denherter joining us, Queen City Cancer Foundation, or Cancer Organization.
Cancer
Foundation. Queen City Cancer Foundation. Google it and help out, seriously. John Burnett just got tossed out of a game. The manager of the Senators 4 minutes ago. I'm watching the updates here on the Twitter. Senators playing the Lakers of Kalispell over at Kendrick. So coach just got tossed. We'll get him on. We'll chat about why that happened. All right. I was going to talk about Bubba Wallace. I'm going to save that for tomorrow when we have more time. It's more important to me to talk to Luke and have fun than to talk about Bubba Wallace. It's a tough one to discuss, but it has to be discussed. but we'll talk about that. Treasure State Radio, we'll say goodbye to you, and you can catch up on Jason Walker Show. Let's do On This Day in History right now, and it is brought to you by the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant, and got sports betting. I hope you went down and took my advice and took Barry Abrams' advice last week and bet on Tis the Law to win the Belmont. You would have won some cash, probably not a lot, but you would have won some. But I hope you did. It is National Pralines Day. By the way, you can bet at the Motherlode. That's why I bring it up. It is National Parchment Day. On this date in 1880, the other best national anthem, the American national anthem, is the best. Star Spangled Banner, hands down. But the first performance of O Canada took place on this date in 1880. That is my second all-time favorite. And I don't feel like a traitor for saying that because, A, Canada can't hurt us militarily. But I love the way O Canada is sung, especially at a hockey match. Oh, come on. 1882, the NL, National League, expelled umpire Richard Hyman for dishonesty. If they did that today, we wouldn't have any officials or any umpires in any sport. Right, Tesh? Just kidding. I love Tesh. 1894, the decision to hold the modern Olympics every 4 years. 1922, U.S. football team Chicago Staleys became the Chicago Bears. Oh, what's your favorite pro football team?
49ers.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Joe Montana fan.
I mean, 49ers.
Yeah. Cowboys here.
Oh.
1936, Joe DiMaggio became the fifth player to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. Let's see. Jackie Robinson in 1947 stole home for the first time. 19 times he would steal home in his career. Unbelievable athlete. 1980, Affirmed wins $500,000 at the Hollywood Cup. Now, Affirmed won the Triple Crown in 78. Became the first horse to win $2 million. 1987, the Salt Lake Trappers begin pro baseball record of 29 consecutive victories. 94, Jeff Bagwell. All right, so 1936, Joe DiMaggio hit 2 home runs in an inning. He was the 5th. In 1994, Jeff Bagwell became the 28th player to do that. And I think that was pre-roids. Not that Bagwell ever took roids. And another guy that really didn't, Mark McGwire, 1997, on this date, hit a 537-foot home run in Seattle. You remember this against, I was going to bring it up, against the Mariners in the Kingdome, the same game that Randy Johnson struck out 19 but lost.
Yeah, when you throw the ball 105 miles an hour, you hit it, it goes a ways.
Let's see. 26-year-old Australian Kari Webb won the LPGA championship on this date in 2001, becomes the youngest woman to win the career Grand Slam. And on this date in 2010, the longest match in tennis history came to an end. John Isner defeated Nicholas Mahut at Wimbledon. 11 hours, 5 minutes, took 3 days to play. It was 70-68 in the 5th set. 70-68 in the 5th. That is 138 games in one set. Also a record. Unbelievable match. And happy birthday. 1895, Jack Dempsey was born in Colorado. 1901, Chuck Taylor was born in Indiana. Yesterday was the anniversary of his death. So he died a day before would have been his 68th birthday. Also on this date, 1901, the first exhibition by Pablo Picasso opened up. He was 19 years old. You an artist?
Nope. Not one bit. I have nothing to do with that.
No artistic
these
ability.
Hands been broken, dislocated too many times playing, so there's no artistry in these.
You can use your feet.
Yeah. they're broken, dislocated too before them all.
There you go. Let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
All right, walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco, and make sure shrimp etouffee sounds really good for dinner tonight. And I know I talk about that every night, but it's literally my favorite. But so many great dishes at Cafe Zydeco. Check them out, Helena, Bozeman, and Billings. We also have gift certificates we're going to start giving away again next week here on the Jason Walker Show. And the walk-off. We talked about COVID today, and it's going to happen. There's more cases, and I'm just surprised. I will be surprised if we get full seasons of anything this fall and winter, and that includes basketball and wrestling So there you go. If you missed anything, jasonwalkershow.com. And appreciate Luke Denherter stomping in. That was a lot of fun. And Queen City Cancer Foundation. Check it out on the Google and the Facebook. All right, we're going to be back tomorrow at 4. I have no idea who's going to be a guest. It could just be me ranting. Maybe Luke will come back. Who knows? We'll see you tomorrow. Jason Walker Show.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.